So Health Education England, HEE, it's one of the arm's length bodies of the Department of Health and Social Care. Its responsibility is to make sure that the NHS has the right skills in the right number, at the right time, in the right place. So it's there to make sure that the NHS has the evolving workforce that it needs in order to serve patients and the public. My role as Chief Information Officer is to make sure that organisation and the functions that it undertakes are best underpinned with data, information, knowledge and technology. And then I've got another role, if you like, something I like to call my hobby. I spend about half my time on it. So I'm the Programme Director for something called Building a Digital Ready Workforce. So it's a programme of work developing capability in digital skills and capabilities across the whole of the NHS and also social care. And it's that piece of work that I'll be talking about ahead. It's going to take a little while. So every single industry is struggling with the same sorts of challenges that the health and care system is struggling with. So if you think about changes in the world right now, we are seeing accelerating change all over the place, in particular in digital technologies. So, and when I use the word digital, I don't just mean tech, I also mean the use of data or the amount of knowledge and information we produce on a daily basis. And whether you're talking about the number of photos on Google or the number of documents in web pages, the amount of knowledge, the amount of technology, the amount of digital, the amount of opportunity is rising at an exponential rate still. So all of that stuff is still doubling every 2 years. And it has been doing so since 1964. This is not a trend that's recent. This is just, it's shooting up through the stratosphere. Which sounds wonderful, all of this opportunity. Where's the problem, right? So the big difficulty is, as a species, we are not able to keep up. We just can't get our heads around all of that new stuff year on year. And our ability to adapt needs to be accelerated. And in a nutshell, that's what building a digital ready workforce is about. It's not creating a digital workforce per se, it's creating an adaptable and a change positive workforce. Mm-hmm. And we think that there are three main ways which, taken together, will help us as an organisation, a group of organisations in the health and care world, address that huge rise in opportunity and make greater use of it. The first is creating organisations that govern smarter and are themselves more adaptable, creating cultures that allow our workforce to experiment with new ideas and give them permission, authority to proceed. The second is create a subset of our workforce that we call informaticians or digital experts, the people who, as their day job, work with data, information, knowledge and technology. Create a group of those people who are really good and are concentrated on meeting the needs of our user base, whether it be staff or whether they be end stakeholders, patients and the public. And the third is, how do we enable every single member of staff in health and social care to be what we might call digitally literate or digitally enabled, which is something to do with knowledge and skills, capabilities, but at least as much to do with attitude and confidence. And we've got a strategy in our programme that enables us to address all three of those, mostly through individual workplaces, individual organisations. The Digital Academy for me was both exhilarating and eye-opening and a real challenge. So it's not something you should go into lightly, but it is absolutely worthwhile. So we don't have a bar for the most senior people in the informatics and the digital world in health and care, those people who happen to be in positions that we call Chief Information Officer or we call Chief Clinical Information Officer. The Digital Academy has been our first attempt to produce a training program that enables you to stand up as a CIO or a CCIO and say, you know what, I am good enough to do this job. It's a year-long course. It takes between 8 and 10 hours a week. There are 2 weeks off. So 50 weeks worth of 8 to 10 hours a week. And you learn stuff that is really eye-opening. And it helped me deal with a few gremlins, maybe. So I think everyone suffers from a little bit of imposter syndrome from time to time. And I've written about my personal experience before, but my experience in the Digital Academy made me think, this is a gold standard across the whole world. This is a gold standard for people working in digital and in health. This is what I need to know, and I can hold my head up high and say, now I've qualified, I deserve my roles as CIO. The big thing that I'm looking forward to, there's some tremendous talks, and it's a great opportunity for us to hear from cutting-edge research as well as policy. The thing that I really love about these sorts of events, though, is the opportunity to talk with my peers, people who have become my friends over time, and just have a little bit of time to discuss what's going on, so maybe some of the new things that we found out in the last day or two, and just sit down and have a discussion where we don't have an agenda. That's quite a nice thing and quite rare.